Good afternoon, crew. This is your captain speaking, and I have for you today a Nekroz deck profile. I decided to play the deck after I had gotten a case of the new set, and actually ended up pulling everything I needed. I didn't have to pick up. I had to pick up one Valkyrus, and that's it. So yeah, I finished the deck the day of. I've been slightly modifying it bit by bit ever since I made it. My build still isn't 100% optimal. I kind of tuned it to my locals. Like, I'm not going to any events anytime soon. So, yeah, I'll get it started. This is pretty regular. Triple Senju. Triple Manju. Sorry about that glare. One Dance Princess, and I play 2 Shrit with the Dance Princess. I do not like him at 3. I find 3 very cloggy, especially since he can be recycled again from the grave. And then I play the 1 main deck Jin Releaser. I only main deck 1 Maxi. A lot of the top YCS guys main deck 3. I main deck 1 because there's a lot of rogue at my locals. I'm not always playing against a meta deck. So if I end up playing against like Yosenju or something stupid like that, more than 1 pretty much kills me. It's just dead cards in my hand. And then I main deck the 1 Phantom of Chaos, which I'll talk about towards the end of the profile. That's it for all the non-blue or green cards. On to the shiny blue cards. Triple Unicorn. One of the better cards, I guess. Maybe close to the best. Simply because of his usability with Herald of Arclight to search practically any card in the deck. Very solid card. Lockdown boards. Negate Dark Law effect. Negate Dante effect. Make it so that they have to punch over you in Burning Abyss by making like a Virgil or something. Or Acid Golem if they already burned through their Virgils. It's a good card. The discard effect is pretty good too. Recycle Valkyrus, Recycle Brionic, Recycle Call of Solace. It's a good card. The money card. Triple Brio. He's kind of self-explanatory. Discard him, search any Nekroz named monster. And his bounce back effect isn't too shabby either. Very good. I opted to play Triple Valkyrus instead of the 2. It does clog every now and then. Very rarely. Because I find myself summoning him a lot more than using his discard effects. Just to clear my board, tribute himself off, tribute other things off, like... If I have a Lavalval Chain or a Daigusto Emerald just sitting there, I may as well draw more cards. I do summon him quite a bit. Especially after I run through Unicorns really quickly. And if I have a bunch of Unicorns in grave and like a wasted Manju on field, he's an easy 29 beater. With Decisive Armor, he can get over pretty much anything. And his discard effect wins games. Like... Once your opponent commits to the board and they try to kill you, just end the battle phase with his effect and just completely punish them during your next turn. I play 2 Call of Solace. 1's good enough. I'm testing 2 right now because there's a lot of times where I have a Brio in hand and I'll have like 1 Unicorn left in deck. And, like, I'll have the ability to get the Unicorn, but then I need the spell card. And I have to use the Unicorn to add back Hall of Solace, to pitch Call of Solace, to add the spell card from my deck. Like, if I have, like, a Manju on board or something already and they didn't clear my board, so I can't use the graveyard effects. 2 is, it's really good sometimes and really bad other times. But his effect to reduce, extra deck monsters attack to 0 is really good. So I can use 1 for like just a search effect and actually summon the other one. And he's really good for first turn Jinlock. I mean, all the blue cards are all pretty solid. They all have their own good uses. So I'll see how 2 plays out for now. 1 Decisive Armor, OTK card. And that's pretty much it. If you're playing against Rogue and you get to the point where they're setting a lot of cards, he can win you games. If your opponent's top decking, he's just massive. They just can't get over him. And if they're just forced to set monsters, set back row, he gets past everything. And he's good for the Unicorn OTK. And basically, just to him, Unicorn and either Manju or Senju, and you have game. 1 Gungear. I almost never summon this card. I just use it pretty much to protect my Jinlock. Jinlock, Edher, I have protection from destruction effects. If I also get the Trish, protection from targeting effects, and you just should win that game. Especially if it's against a meta deck. Unless they draw all of the outs, which kind of usually happens to me. Which is, I don't feel like bum rushing the Jinlock is the way to go anymore. It has won me a lot of games, like there in tournament at my locals. Like I would just go first turn Jinlock, and then people would just scoop game 1 because they just didn't draw any outs like in their first hand. But I feel like it's just more powerful to just power through their resources and then do the Jinlock, because then they have nothing. Like, if they're forced, they have like 1 card or 2 cards in hand and they don't have the out, that's it, they just lose. And 1 Trishula, awesome card. Banish effect is great, the discard effect is relatively good. This is the card that everyone's afraid of. I find myself summoning Valkyrus a lot more than Trish, but Trish's effect does win games. I just like him. 29 lets me draw cards. I think he's more of the boss monster than Trish, but Trish definitely does turn games around. But if your opponent knows how to play around it, especially if they see you at it, it just becomes a liability. It just sits in your hand, not doing anything. Especially like if they clear their hand, empty their hand every turn, or in the mirror match, if you use Valkyrus to clear your own board, Trish is just, it's dead weight in your hand. So I only run 1. Alright, now on to the green cards. 3 Preparation of Rites. This card's gonna get hit. It lets me search the 3 really good ones from the deck. Brio, Colossalis, and Unicorn. It also lets me recycle mirrors without needing to pitch a Unicorn, which is just dirty. It's just overpowered, and it's an inherent +1 that you just continue to plus off of afterwards. Like, you can top deck this and it just turns the game around. Triple Mystical Space Typhoon, a necessity in this format. Cliff Forts, Floodgates, you have to play the card. And a lot of people like the 2/2/2 with the ritual cards. I've been doing 3/2/1. I run 3 Cloudimir, best one in my opinion. So many options with this card. 2 regular mirror, and I know I called it Kaleidomir, it's Kaleidoscope, whatever. Nekroz Mirror or Exo Mirror, this is very good. Banish the Shritz from the grave. Banish Brio and Colossalis for Trish. Banish Unicorns for Valkyrius. This is a good card. In 1 cycle. I usually only use the cycle once for Jinlock, or once to bring back a Trish, because Unicorn can always add it back to my hand. Then I can just like Exo Mirror it or something. There are sometimes where I wish I played 2, but 3 of this is just better, and I don't want to play 3/2/2 because that's just super cloggy. Like, I'm already at 44 cards, and I don't want to play anymore. I barely want to play over 40, but the engine in this deck is so big that it's just like, you have to. And I play a bunch of 1-ofs. 1 Rhoda. because I play 2 Colossalis, so you may as well. It's a card that you're always going to have a target for, pretty much. 1 Snatch Steal. Thinking about taking it out of the main deck, because it's really only good against Clifforts. Mirror Match is pretty good, but this is mainly against Clifforts, because it just completely shits on them. But like, it's subpar against like rogue deck, which, like I said, I play against a lot of them. Like Yosenju, I know it's like tier 2, I guess, and Ritual Beasts. I see that a lot at my locals, and they can just dodge this. Like Yosenju doesn't have monsters, and Ritual Beasts will just defuse. Obviously the card wins games, but I find myself siding it out against like shitty decks. I was playing 2 Dark Hole, but I opted for 1 Dark Hole, 1 Book of Eclipse. I don't like 2 of either or, because they both have options. There are times where I drew this wishing it was a Dark Hole, and I drew this wishing it was a Book of Eclipse, but running 1 of each has gotten me out of a lot of problems. Like, in one game, Dark Hole would serve its purpose, and then the Book of Eclipse would also serve its purpose. So I just can't take myself to run 2 over the other, I guess. 1 Regeki, because it's a good card, and 1 Book of Moon, because it is also a good card. Alright, side deck. Side deck is still kind of in progress, but 2 Flying Sea, because I really don't like playing with Burning Abyss. Burning Abyss sucks. I also use it against Yosenju, so that they can't activate the trap. Yeah, and then it gives me the ability to get rid of whatever face-up Yosenju card they have, and then get rid of this, and then just attack for game. 2 Denkoseka, because back row sucks. Yeah, I usually side it again against back row heavy decks, Heroes, Telenites, that kind of stuff. The other 2 Maxis for if I do play against Burning Abyss or Mirror Match. Good card. Shadal's, it's good against. 1 Side Blocker. I haven't gotten to test it that much, but the times where I did side it in, it puts in so much work. It was either this or what's the card? Oh, I'm drawing a giant blank. The one that your opponent can't banish, and when he deals damage. Oh, Kaiku. I couldn't think of the name. It's either him or Kaiku. Kaiku is awesome in the Mirror Match, and awesome against Burning Abyss. But this card is literally good against every single deck in the game. It's just, you can call anything. It's not limited. It's just good. And you have to use the effect that they have a Skilldren or something, whatever. Yeah, they have it. But it doesn't have a bad matchup. The card is it's just good. And if you don't know what it does, see if we can focus in on that. There you go. Once per turn, declare a card name. Cards with that name and their effects cannot be used until the end of my opponent's next turn. So, like, if I clear my opponent's board and I know he has the Tour Guide, I can summon this, declare Tour Guide. Or if he has a Dante with a Seer underneath it and I can clear the Dantes, just summon this, call Seer. And then they just have, like, nothing left. Focus back in. And then it's just, like, it's just a good card. Triple Twister for Yosenju, Cliffort, anything that plays Floodgates. Double Shared Ride for the Mirror Match. And Triple Mind Crush for any deck that searches. Specifically, usually, more often than not, the Mirror Match. Alright, and extra deck. Just making sure it was correct. 2 Heralds, mandatory, awesome card. 1 Underground Arachnid. I run really, like, this is like unconventional, but I'll explain it in a second. 1 Shooting Star Dragon, because level 10. 1 Quasar, level 12. And Barbroid, also level 12. Because I go into Unicore Valkyrus a lot, and so I like to run 212 since I run 3 Exomeres. So I'll keep these guys to the side. I'll explain those in a second. 1 Exciton, because Exciton's a good card, he wins games. Level Chain for the Genlock and for shenanigans. Dagusta Emerald, Cowboy, and Heartland Draco to steal games. Dark Rebellion to get over Unicorn or Valkyrus boards. Abyss Dweller because it's a good card. Castell, it's another good card. And Rhapsody and Berserk for the mirror match. Okay, so now I will explain this card. I was testing this before I saw the guy who won London, and he was also playing this, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. What he does is you can banish a monster from your grave, and he becomes that monster for the turn. He can't deal battle damage, but you can use the effects. So I can use Brio and bounce stuff back. I can use Quasar and negate a card and attack for 4th. I wouldn't be able to attack with Quasar. But I can still negate a card, and like if I need to negate something that guarantees me game, like if you have Valkyrus in hand, I can just turn him into a Quasar, negate your Valkyrus, attack you for game. And then this guy right here. He can attack twice, and anything he kills doesn't get its effect, and if he kills something, my opponent takes 1,000 damage. So sure, I can't deal battle damage. Oh, he's also at 4,000 attack. But I can attack twice over stuff. You won't get any of your effects, and you take 2,000 damage. He can also turn into a Herald, and I can negate stuff with Herald. Herald's effect. He can turn into this guy, Underground Arachnid, and it's controlled spot removal for monsters. If you have a monster that's in my way, I can just equip it to him, and then it's gone forever. Like, it's mine, unless you get rid of him. He's just, like, really, really good, and he also gets me out of Vanities. Like, if you have a Vanities face up, I can't special, obviously, I can just normal summon him, banish any beater from my graveyard, and punch, and then your Vanities is gone. Alright guys, well that's the deck. If you don't like it, let me know. If you do like it, let me know. If there are any improvements, any comments, any questions, let me know in the comments below. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video, if you want to see more videos similar to this one. And have a great night or day, depending on when you decide to watch the video. Bye.